Hi, Phil Schoenberg, Fastpitch Power. Interesting phenomenon. While watching the SEC and ACC tournaments, we noticed something that I think is fairly remarkable and significant. A number of top-level NCAA Division I pitchers, capable of throwing the ball in the mid-60s, were ratcheting their pitching speed down to the upper 50s consistently in order to keep the batters off balance and create more spin and movement. Now this is very, very important. It's important for two reasons. One, because when you get to that level, just as in Major League Baseball, where Steven Strasburg can throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, if he does not hit his spot, any quality Major League Baseball pitcher can turn that 100-mile-an-hour fastball around and hit it over the fence. The same thing is happening in college softball. The higher levels the players get to, the better the hitting becomes. And the more aggressive the batters become when the balls are being thrown fast. So pitchers are getting smart, and they're evolving from throwers of the softball to pitchers of the softball. Having that speed is terrific, and I'm noticing that in many cases, the top-level college pitchers are using that top speed as sort of a reverse changeup. They're not throwing it that often. I won't get into right now, I have in the past, about my feelings about fastballs and how they're frowned upon in softball. I am not in agreement with that philosophy. We'll talk about that at some future date. I will say this, however, that in Major League Baseball, we did an analysis in the year 2013, all pitchers, the whole universe of pitchers in Major League Baseball, and the whole universe of pitches that those pitches threw during the course of an entire season, they have these kinds of statistics now. 64% of all pitches were fastballs. Why is that not the case in softball? We'll talk about that at some future date. But I think it's very important to realize that as a developing young pitcher, you do not need to throw the ball at 70 miles an hour in order to be effective. And these girls who are capable of hitting 65, 66, 67 miles an hour, and looking back at the scoreboard in the third inning and seeing that the score is already 7-5, are saying, hey, there must be a better approach. And they're finding that approach in spin, in movement, in changing quadrants, in keeping hitters off balance. And it's working very effectively. And it can also work for you. Don't think that speed is all that you need. Very often college coaches fall in love with the radar gun. I don't fall in love with the radar gun. Some of my most effective pitchers don't throw the ball much faster than 55, 56 miles an hour. But they can change speed, they can change height, they can spot their pitches exactly where they want them to be. This is what makes you effective in the 8-foot circle. I'd love to hear your comments on this and how you experience the transition from speed and power to movement and command. Always looking for your comments. It was great to talk to you. Speak to you next time.